How good is life on the world's largest offshore oil platform? The food is comparable to that of a five-star hotel, and you can gain a pound of weight in 3 days. This is the world's largest offshore oil platform. The Johan Alverson oil field, located in the Norwegian waters, is 380 meters above sea level and weighs 560,000 tons. It is a multifunctional oil and gas production facility that provides a large amount of natural gas and oil resources for Norway and Europe. The platform is about 160 kilometers from the mainland, which is a deep sea, but the oil and gas reserves are quite rich, with a total reserve of more than 320 million cubic meters. There are about 2 billion barrels of crude oil and lithium concentrate, which is thousands of times richer. Since it is in the sea, it is natural to face storms. Unlike ships can avoid or return when encountering storms. If an oil platform encounters a storm, it can only choose to resist it and see whether the storm is harder or its own life is harder. Working here is basically like being out of touch. Except for being able to call home occasionally, it is basically no different from being out of touch. You can't go out at all. All life is restricted to this small piece of land. In order to compensate the staff, the food here is very luxurious. Just like a buffet, you can eat whatever you want. You don't need to consider whether it is expensive or not, everything is free. It is said that you can gain a pound of meat here in 3 days. It can be said that there is no one who can't gain weight here. If you come here at the beginning of the year, you will have at least 50 pounds of meat on your body when you go back at the end of the year. It is a pig farm, fresh fruits and top steaks. You can often eat here. You have to eat the freshest. You don't need to consider whether it will cause waste. As long as you want to eat, you can come to the cafeteria to eat at any time. It is open 24 hours a day. Even if it is 4:30 in the morning, if you are hungry and want to eat supper, there are already prepared food here. It can be said that this is a paradise for half a foodie. After all, no foodie can resist the temptation of delicious food, let alone a place where delicious food can be supplied 24 hours a day. Of course, the most important point is that you don't have to spend money, otherwise ordinary people can't stand the war. Not only is the food good, but the entertainment activities are also good. Although it is also on the sea, the staff here are much happier than the crew on the warship or submarine. At least there is more space for activities. Those who like sports can go to a special gym for training. This is not a warship where every inch of land is valuable. The gym is very large. Not only is it fully equipped with fitness equipment, but the space is also very sufficient. It can accommodate multiple employees to exercise at the same time. There is even enough space to put a billiard table in the rest area for employees to entertain. If you don't like this kind of exercise, you can also do yoga on the top floor apron. Not only will you not be covered in sweat, but you can also relax your body and mind and keep your heart happy. Of course, there are also many people who are not interested in sports at all. At this time, you can play chess and poker in the lounge. The rest time is completely personal and there will be no interference here. Or find a movie or TV series you like and watch it in the projection room. Of course, people who care about the country can also choose to watch the news in the rest area. After all, this is just a work area. It is not really far away from the land temporarily. There is still some signal connection, otherwise it is too boring. If you want to play games, you can only play standalone games. After all, it is too far from the shore. The network cable can't come at all, and the signal is not very stable. Games that require networking are basically out of reach here. But as long as you take a look at the salary, even ordinary employees can earn nearly $10,000 a month. Employees with high positions often earn nearly $50,000, and they are basically Chinese social animals who work one day and rest one day every month. Seeing this salary and benefits will basically drive you crazy. Let alone work one day and rest one day. In China, bosses would like to let you work 8 days a week, and it is best not to get a salary. After all, Chinese bosses basically believe in one sentence: since I have provided you with a job, why should I pay you another salary? If this salary is slapped in the face of Chinese social animals, they will roll inwards. What kind of job can they promote to work on the world's largest offshore oil platform at their workstations? If you are unlucky, you will die directly. Working on an offshore oil platform can be said to be quite dangerous. After all, the sea is unknown. The unknown represents one thing. Humans cannot find out how the threat is generated by effective means for the time being. Here we often face the baptism of storms. Even if the platform is very strong, when the giant waves come up, the personnel can't help but worry about it. After all, this is in case of some problems in the sea, but there is really no way to go up to the sky and down to the ground. You can only sit and wait to die here. The most common work is to explore for oil. Then open up the oil pipeline. Apart from this, there is nothing to do. Many times I stare at the screen in front of me boredly, and then start the next step according to the data on the screen. Because most of the oil grows very deep, and the mining pipeline is very thin, it is basically impossible to use manual excavation. Can only be done by machine. There are a lot of artificial diamonds attached to the drill bit. This is the hardest substance in nature. Steel will go around it. Similarly, only in this way can we dig through the crust and dig deep into the ground to dig oil. If it is not for the advancement of technology, artificial diamonds are everywhere. The diamonds on this drill bit alone can be worth tens of millions. When it is used, someone may have to watch it next to the house and deduct large pieces to sell for money. Moreover, this is one of the few jobs that do not follow the 8-hour work system. The working hours are basically 2 shifts and the handover time. The working hours every day are basically more than 12 hours. However, the only advantage may be that you can lie down for half a month after working for half a month. However, time is not the most difficult. The biggest hardship here is the uncertainty of the workload, because the busyness of different types of work is different in a short period of time. Maybe the people who are changing shifts have come, and you still need to work hard and even have to pull the other party to work together to complete the task. After all, this is 160 kilometers from the Caspian Sea coast. Even a helicopter will take at least 40 minutes to arrive. If there is a problem, 40 minutes is enough for dozens of people to die. Because the work is difficult, it basically does not exist here. Ordinary employees who want to clean up and run to work can save their energy. After all, there will be no lazy people here. Except for the chef. It is difficult to see ordinary people here because of the unpredictability of the environment and facilities. The difficulty of the work is also high and low. Maybe this patrol is calm and there are no problems at all, but the difficulty will be close to the sky next time. The ups and downs can make you as excited as riding a roller coaster. Once the decision is made to open a new oil field, the workload here will increase dramatically. The work clothes that may not be dirty even if they are not washed for half a month will become battle-scarred in half a day. Those who can operate the drill are very experienced employees. At least you need to have considerable experience in ground oil fields to be competent. After all, this is in the sea, not on land in case of mistakes. When the oil in the pipeline is ignited, everyone can brainstorm and imagine how to escape. This can be said to be the most common accident on offshore oil platforms. Many people die because of this and didn't know where to escape. It takes 5 or 6 hours to drive from the nearest port to here at high speed. And it takes half an hour for a helicopter to mark the whole tree. Not only that, there are many things that threaten the lives of employees here, such as the machinery hanging overhead. Every year, a small number of workers die on the platform due to falling objects from high altitudes. The best way for workers to save their lives here is to pray to God. After all, when luck is bad, people can really die from cold water stuck in their teeth. Therefore, all employees will undergo safety training before working on this platform, requiring them to wear protective equipment in all places except the rest area to prevent accidents. Not to mention knowing the dangerous places around you, at least you should know what you can't do. And when you encounter dangerous situations, you don't need to be able to save people, but at least you can protect yourself and reduce some rescue pressure. How profitable is the world's largest offshore oil platform? More than 5,000 tons of crude oil can be extracted every day, and the net profit of one day is as high as 23 million. Most of the precious resources such as oil are hidden underground, and there is almost no direct exposure on the surface. It's easy to say on land, just dig a well directly. This is almost gone. At worst, just change to another place and dig another one. But this method doesn't work in the sea. For oil, the method of filling the entire ocean directly is not acceptable. Not to mention whether it will damage the environment, but the cost of this project can bring down all countries. Therefore, if you want to obtain oil at sea, you can only take another way. First, cast the chicken, and then drag the foundation to the designated place by ship. Although it took some effort, it is at least easier than building a foundation in the sea. After all, it is as difficult to build a foundation in the sea as to go to the sky. After arriving at the designated place, the consignor will start unloading, put the huge foundation into the water, and only leave 4 stone pillars standing in the water. It can be said that once the foundation lands, it basically announces the final location of the offshore oil platform, because it is basically impossible to move it. It is better to have this time to reconsign a foundation. After that, the upper part built on land will be transported in the same way and landed steadily on these stone pillars. Then the platform tiller is made inseparable through welding. But this is not enough because in order to facilitate transportation and installation, the platform transported here is just a frame, and the interior cannot be said to be bare. At least, even if a mouse comes, it will have to throw down 2 grains of rice before it can leave. In order to make this platform run successfully, it needs to go through several steps, and the empty interior must be completely equipped with machines. According to statistics, the cost of an offshore oil platform is about 7 billion yuan, which is more than 15 times that of an oil platform on land, so each step needs to be strictly calculated before it can be officially finalized. After all, this is a building worth hundreds of millions of dollars. If the engineer can't work because of his carelessness, it will not be enough to sell the engineering team dozens of times. Not only that, when designing, engineers must consider everything that may happen, because such a huge building, a second of suspension is a loss, and employees need to work day and night. If an emergency occurs, as long as it is not a last resort, it will never stop. Because the building is so huge, the startup time of an aircraft carrier using a fuel engine is faster than it, and it takes at least 2 days and 2 nights from shutdown to startup. This loss is all money. Therefore, daily maintenance is also a top priority. Not to mention serving this platform like serving ancestors, at least it is treated as a son, fearing that it will have a problem. Under the premise of not affecting work, the machines in some places can be temporarily stopped to give the machines a short rest time. After all, although the machine is durable, it can't withstand day and night work. Different machines have different maintenance times and frequencies due to different work intensities. This is a delicate job. After all employees on the oil platform are counting on this place that is difficult to maintain, and even employees need to work overtime to handle it. The oil extracted here only needs to be processed initially, and it will be continuously sent back to the land through pipelines. It is estimated that 5,000 tons of oil can be transported here every day. The oil extracted from an offshore platform can also support the consumption of a small country. This oil platform is like a nail, firmly rooted in the ocean, continuously providing nutrients to the world and supporting human development. There are countless platforms like this in the world.